guys. So I wanted to make a video today about how to stay motivated because this is something that I've struggled with on and off throughout my weight loss journey, and I feel like this is something that other people have struggled with as well. So I'm currently in the process of losing the last 20 pounds of about 120 pounds. My process and my whole thing has taken a little bit longer than I think would be ideal for most people. But something that I've struggled with on and off is just motivation. How do I stay motivated? How do I keep pursuing this goal, especially when at times it can seem so insurmountable? So I wanted to make a video that might be maybe helpful, at least for some people. The first thing I would say is, especially if you have a big and long journey like I did, just commit to one day at a time. Don't think about, oh my gosh, I have 100 and something pounds to lose. That's insane. That's really scary. Don't think about the mountain that you have to climb in front of you, if that makes sense. Try and focus on just one day at a time, staying committed one day at a time to your goals. It's really hard to think about yourself being motivated to stick with your diet plan and your exercise weeks from now, or even sometimes months from now, for some of us years from now, right? But it's easy to picture ourselves sticking to our plans today, sticking with our healthy habits just for today. So that is kind of my bit of advice. Every day I wake up and I commit to doing my best just today. I don't think about what I'm going to be doing next week this time, or oh my gosh, how much longer do I have to go to meet my goals? I just focus on today. That's a lot easier to do, just today. Something else that I find helpful is before and after photos. You can find some on Reddit or Instagram, as well as I'm sure dozens of other social media websites. The reason that I think before and after photos are really important is because it helps to communicate to the back of the mind that what you want is achievable, it's probable, and it's going to likely happen if you continue taking the steps that you're currently taking. Sometimes these goals can seem really, really hard and really impossible. So I find before and after photos to be crucial to remind myself that what I want is possible. The other thing is, I've talked about this before, but I do not find before and after photos of celebrities to be interesting at all, because my mind can find a million reasons as to why Rebel Wilson can lose 80 or 100 pounds or whatever, and I cannot. That's not to take away from the hard work that she had to put in. I'm sure she had to put in a lot of hard work to be able to lose that weight. But the thing is, my brain can go, Rebel Wilson, huh? Well, I bet she has a personal nutritionist and a personal doctor and a personal trainer and a personal chef. I bet she has an errand boy so she doesn't have to wait in line like I do to buy her groceries. I bet she has a personal masseuse. I bet there are tons of reasons why it is so much easier for her to lose weight and so much harder for me. So now, a lot of those reasons are probably true and they're legit, but are they helpful to me to think that way? No, they're not. They're not helpful. They're not conducive to believing in myself. They're just kind of a million tiny excuses in disguise, right? But if I see someone's mom losing weight, or someone's dad, or some elderly person with less mobility than myself, less internet acumen, something like that, I find that to be truly inspirational, to see somebody with the same resources as myself or less resources as myself going the distance that I want to go. The next step really only works if you like cooking. I don't think that cooking is a barrier to weight loss. I don't think that if you're a person that doesn't like cooking that you have a problem, right? But I think it is helpful to like cooking. There are so many meals that I've been able to make within my macros by looking at recipes online and trying them at home. I used to not be able to cook raw meat before I started my weight loss journey. And now I can season meats, I can cook raw meat, I can do amazing things with meals that I never thought were possible before. It helps to get really, really into cooking. You can make meals that are nutritious and perfect just for you. For example, I'm a volume eater. Like I said before, the amount of food that I can eat in one sitting is inspirational and horrific. So what I do is I make really, really high volume foods. Usually that means that I have to sneak in mushrooms or cauliflower or some other vegetable in somewhere, but that helps me feel full. It helps me look at my plate and see that is a bountiful plate with lots and lots of good and nutritious offerings on it. The internet is terrible, but it's also a wonderful place for recipes. So if there's a specific thing that you're craving, look into recipes that you can find. For example, I had been really, really craving pepperoni pizza, so I looked into pizza salad recipes, which are just seasoned meat with pepperoncinis and mozzarella and shredded lettuce and mushrooms and some other vegetables to make it really, really filling, but still have the essence of pizza. I was even able to find a spice that is created by a company online. It's like a small business that kind of emulates the feeling of eating pepperoni. Pepperoni has really, really terrible macros, so despite being delicious, I kind of try and stay away from it. But because I have that spice, I can get the vibe of eating pepperoni. The next 2 tips for staying motivated are kind of contradictory. The first one is to set small goals. What I mean by that is give yourself rewards when you meet milestones. For me, about every 5 pounds, I give myself a tiny reward. Now, how big the reward is really depends on your finances or what your life looks like. For me, I either get a massage or a facial because I'm fortunate enough that my lifestyle allows me to be able to do that for myself. One time when I made a weight loss goal, I even bought myself a new phone. But I know not everybody is capable of doing that. Another time when I was first starting on my journey, one of my weight loss goals when I met them was to buy an Olipop soda. They're about $2.50 or something at the grocery store. They're not something that I would have normally at that time in my life splurged on. But because I was, doing something that really mattered to me and staying motivated, I went ahead and did what was considered to me at that time a splurge. I really, really recommend something like that. The last thing I'm going to recommend is to set large goals. Now, I know that contradicts what we talked about just a second ago, but hear me out. So when you have a lot of weight to lose, it's easier to hedge your bets. If you have 100 pounds to lose, it's easier to tell yourself, well, I'm just going to lose 20. I'm just going to lose 30. I'm just going to lose enough so that I weighed what I weighed a few years ago. But that's not really exciting, is it? What's a lot more exciting is losing a lot of weight. You can get a little bit more invested in that dream, living a life that you haven't lived before, having a body maybe that you haven't had before or haven't had in years. Large numbers like that, large goals like that can get us excited, and they can get us much more motivated than small goals. Staying motivated when you're trying to accomplish something that matters to you can be really, really hard. Motivation seems so elusive. Sometimes it comes on so strong, and sometimes it goes just as quickly. I hope some of these tips can be helpful for you. Like I said, the things that I stick to the most are just really taking it one day at a time. Life is weird. You never know what's going to happen next. You never know where you're going to be in a few weeks. But what you can do is you can commit to staying on plan just today.